Lyndsay, it's really good to see you. It's
Thank you, and you.
It feels really strange that he's not here. He was such a force of nature, wasn't he? He was larger than life and all of these things.
Totally, really enigmatic, and it's left a huge hole in my life and the children's life, and all the fans' world as well. You know, he really was such a personality.
He was a very, very special man.
He was.
And how are you? How are you doing?
Not too well. I have moments when I'm, well, a lot of moments when I'm really struggling and I really miss him, and I sort of wake up at night and think, this hasn't really happened. It's like a nightmare, and it's not real. You know, I'm going to get a phone call, and for a lot of the time when he was away, we lived on Skype, because obviously when he was touring.
Sure.
And now I can hardly bear, I do communicate with people on Skype a little bit,
right,
but I can hardly even bear to hear the noise it makes when it calls, because it's not him.
And it would remind you, and then it should be him.
Yeah.
It should be him in the end.
Yeah, it should be him.
It was a massive, massive shock, wasn't it?
It's just unbelievable, and such a futile way to die, really. I mean, he was a lion, you know, a monster of a man, really, and survived all sorts of health scares. I feel at the end he was probably misdiagnosed. I think there was a little bit of medical negligence.
Do you think so?
I do. I think I sometimes beat myself up. I think everybody does when they've lost somebody. You say, what if I'd done this, or we should have done this earlier, or whatever.
Because you ask yourself all sorts of questions, don't you?
You do.
When something like that happens, because you try to find out why.
You do.
You try to make sense of it, don't you?
Absolutely. And then you start to take on the guilt yourself, and you think, why didn't I take him here and do that? And,
I know.
But to die as a victim of a form of sepsis seems...
Very cruel.
Very cruel.
Now, I know, you know, he wasn't the easiest man sometimes, you know, and then that's part and parcel of being with somebody who does what he does.
Well, yes.
But you two, you were planning to have Christmas together, like the family were all planning that. It was all going to be, he was there, he was always in your lives. And for the kids, I mean, they're what, 9 now?
9, just 9.
Because he's missing out on so much.
I know.
You know, and he was, I mean, in these days, 68's not that old.
It's not
at all. It really isn't.
No.
And I mean, I know he lived his life, and by goodness he did.
Well,
he did. He really did. But as you say, he'd got over so many operations and heart operations and all of that, and it looked like he was in a really good place.
Yeah. He said, well, he always said it would take more than death to kill me, and that was his catchphrase. And in fact, on the Quo website now, he's put some "not a bad life, really," which is another comment that he used to make.
I know, that amazing Live Aid performance, all these performances over the years, and the music as well.
Yes.
Are they able to listen to it, or is it too painful?
One day, shortly after Rick had died, actually, Tommy went and he's got a little 3/4 size guitar, because he was strumming and learning with his dad. And he puts it on my phone, the music, and he's down there miming to it, and it's ringing throughout the house, and it's so... I said to Mum, I can't bear to hear it in a way, but he wants to do it.
But it's lovely, but at the same time, I imagine very, very painful for you, because you want to see the two of them together.
That's right, of course.
You know, that's the way it should be. What is it you miss about him most, do you think?
That's a difficult one. I think it's just encompassing everything, basically. I think largely it was seeing him interacting with the children, because he just adored those 2 kids, and vice versa. And he was such a consummate performer, and he also entertained the children. He wasn't just a father, but he would know how to sort of play Jack the Lad and be the clown.
Yeah, that's a real skill.
Yeah,
if you can do that with kids.
And he used to eat, and he kind of miss his mouth, or he'd end up with cream on his... And he was just such fun with them. But also, I have to say, he knew how to discipline them. He was I can't fault him as a father. He was, you know, I miss him terribly, because he did handle the kids very well. He was always there to get them ready, and you've got that role now, sadly, that a lot of men and women find themselves in, that you're the kind of single parent, not through any other reason you didn't want to be. I'm by no means unique, being a single parent that's lost. It is very, very hard.
Very tough. You said you were probably going to write a book about him and about your life. You're very much not the archetypal rock wife, if you like.
No.
You know, you're not. I mean, you're a homemaker, and that's what you wanted to do.
Yes, that's really...
And I guess you really were a safe haven for him, you and the kids.
Well, I'd like to think that a lot of people said, you helped to sort of ground him.
Yeah.
And I'd hope that was the case. Yeah. You know, because let's face it, he'd had a pretty crazy life. But I did give him a new lease, I think.
Yeah, it's a safe harbour.
I mean, we had a lot of criticism when we had the children from the media that we were older parents having kids at that age. How selfish.
I remember interviewing you guys when the twins were tiny from Spain. But you know, they're okay. They have lost their dad. That's hard. But they had him for 9 years. Yeah. Lyndsay, thank you for coming in. Come back and see us. I think you should. Yes. I really do think you should write the book because
I'd like to. I'd like to try and help other people who are grieving as well, and say what I've been keeping a diary.
It's good.
So good. You know, I'm hoping that would be an example to other people who are suffering.
Help a lot of people as well. Lyndsay, thank you. Come back and see us.
It's
good to see you.
Thank you.
So
Lovely
much.
to talk to you.